All right, so I wanted to draw your attention towards the Paraguay PR scam. The reason I'm making this video is because I'm getting a lot of queries from people who are absolutely frustrated. Seems like Paraguay is being shoved down their throat. They're looking for something else. They want to be open to other options. Yes, Paraguay is an interesting one. It's a territorial tax system, but the issue resides with YouTubers just promoting that because it's cheaper for them to do, and they're over promising in certain cases. The biggest issue these days, or the trend these days, is that the PR is almost impossible and they are being promised the PR. So I'm going to give you my perspective because we do Paraguay as well. We have one of the best attorneys in Paraguay that we work with. Now, before I deep dive into this matter, what the scam is, what are people pushing for, what's the ground level reality versus what's being promoted regarding Paraguay. If you aren't subscribed, make sure to subscribe because that helps this channel grow. It helps me bring you authentic, legit content. Paraguay has two options. One is the temporary residency, which is fairly straightforward. There's really no qualifying criteria. Before, it was the direct permanent residency by a bank deposit of $5,000 US dollars. You deposit this in the central bank and you could qualify for immediate permanent residency. It was fairly straightforward. No one really cared about it. But once the whole golden visa got popular, Europe started cracking down. Suddenly all these governments, right? Mexico, Paraguay, Ecuador, all these governments suddenly started seeing the news and they started realizing the importance of the PR that they were distributing for almost free. That's where there was a change. This change happened the last couple of years where you cannot directly deposit 5K for the PR. There's a separate procedure if you want the PR. It's slightly more committing. You got to be committed. But the temporary residency was fairly easy. It is still fairly easy. We're helping our clients with temporary residency in Paraguay. There is, as I said, no qualifying criteria set. As long as you have your documents, the basic documents, funds to sustain yourself inside of Paraguay, any modest amount works. Your passport, your background check, and a couple of other documents, and you're fine with applying directly for the temporary residency. This temporary residency can be renewed indefinitely. So once you get it, you got this for life if you continue to renew it. The temporary residency can then be converted into permanent residency after a couple of years. And when it comes to the citizenship is a non-option for Paraguay effectively. I mean, theoretically, yes, you could get the Paraguayan citizenship, but the practical reality, and this is where one part of the scam resides, where YouTubers or other agents in the market are over-promising. They're saying this is a citizenship option, you can have a dual citizenship, it's a strong passport and all that kind of crap. Yes, of course, it's a good citizenship, but practically, what are you talking about? What are you trying to sell people? People aren't foolish, right? People watch all kinds of content. They understand the Constitution. They read the Constitution. The drafts are all over the internet. So you can't fool people. People are going to be curious, and eventually you might get one or two people in your scam, but eventually they're going to realize the scam and then you got to run, right? There's no other option left with you. So it's very important to have some credibility, honesty, and one should always resort to genuine information. Now, with the citizenship, there is a restriction, right? It does not blanket allow dual citizenship with all countries. There are only a couple of countries that Paraguay anyways allows dual citizenship with. So let's say you're an American or a Canadian or an Australian or any other citizen apart from those two countries. I think it's Italy and Spain. But if you are from any other country, you anyways cannot hold dual citizenship with Paraguay. So citizenship should be a non-option for a lot of people. And secondly, not just Paraguay, but there are a lot of other Latin countries that you've got to be aware of. Yes, you can apply for citizenship after 2 years or 3 years. So they market very fast time frames for applying for citizenship. But once you apply for citizenship, it's not like Mexico. Now, I had a separate video, dedicated video, my interview with my Mexican attorney, who I'm specifically asking her, and this is one of the best attorneys who works with the Mexico City consulate that we use for processing our cases. Our cases are the fastest one-day turnaround time in most cases for the card process. Now, I asked my attorney very clearly, if one is looking for a sure citizenship, right? They want a citizenship after waiting for those number of years. How certain is Mexico? And she said it's fairly certain, and I have personal account of how the offices, the Mexican immigration offices function. They're extremely streamlined, they're fast, they're professional, and there is a set time frame. It's one of the fastest offices that I have seen. Now, you don't get the same experience with some of the other smaller Latin countries because there isn't much volume. With Mexico, you have immigrants from all around Latin America trying to get residencies and citizenships in Mexico. It's a very defined process, 6 to 12 months. You have a good chance, right, that you might receive your benefit, but you cannot give this kind of a time frame for some of the other Latin countries. I'm not saying it's not possible. It is possible. You might get your benefit faster, but it's just not that well defined. It's not that well streamlined. If you have the right attorneys, then yes, you can keep following up and try to get your immigration benefit in time. But if you catch hold of the wrong attorney in other parts of Latin America, then it can get challenging. The second part of the scam is the PR. They overpromise. They say, hey, the PR is easy. There's easy conversion. Yes, the PR conversion used to be easier before, but now obviously there is they got to check, right? If they're giving you the permanent residency as per the new changes, they're going to verify all the information. It used to take a couple of weeks, but now it could take longer. Again, working with the best attorney or the best agent can speed up your case. But again, it's up to the immigration. The delay might be more as compared to before. Not applicable to the temporary residency, but to permanent residency, yes, it could be applicable. Is it still possible to get permanent residency? Absolutely. It's possible to get permanent residency, and the qualifying criteria, instead of the 5K in the bank, now you got to commit 75K over the next 10 years. So it doesn't mean that you have to move 75K to Paraguay. You got to give a statement saying that over the next 10 years, you plan to move the 75K into Paraguay. And of course, be truthful and honest with this if you're willing to give that declaration. And all this paperwork is taken care of by the agency, right? So it's not that you got to obviously read it, verify it, provide your inputs and sign it. But this is what you really need to qualify for the permanent residency directly. Otherwise, you can always change from your temporary residency to permanent residency in 1 to 2 years. So you have that natural pathway as well. Who is Paraguay good for? I would say this is not good for dual citizenship purposes, right? You don't want to play games with the Paraguayan constitution. If they're not permitting dual citizenship, don't try to play tricks. There have been people who have been trying to play all sorts of tricks, but this is not clearly a favorite option for citizenship purposes. This is good if you want to use this as a territorial tax system. Be mindful, it's not a golden visa. You still have to strike the tax residency, which in most cases would be 6 months plus 1 day or more, right? That's what's going to qualify you for tax residency. Then you have to check if once you check the box with Paraguay, you got to check the box with your home country. You want to make sure you're fully compliant with how you're detaching yourself from your home country. And again, we have a lot of discussions surrounding this. This is not as simple. It can get complicated. So there are various things that you need to consider. What's your home country? What is their expectations, etc. So to summarize, the scam seems to be a quick and easy citizenship. No, it's not a quick and easy citizenship. It does not allow dual citizenship with all countries. Second, the PR, it's not a straightforward, easy PR as before. Timeframes can vary. This does not apply to temporary residency. That's fairly quick, and we've been helping people on the ground. It is still possible to get the permanent residency. It's just that it might take more time. And if you are interested in getting started with Paraguay, Mexico, or any other residency, we specialize in the Latin region a lot. We have good, solid attorneys who directly work with immigration offices. If you're looking to get started with any residency in Latin America or elsewhere in the world, always click the link in the description, book a call with us. We can discuss your situation, select the best residency that fits your needs, and get you started with the option of your choice, including that pathway to citizenship. I hope you liked this video. If you did, give me a thumbs up. And before you go, a lot of expats get affected by procrastination, lack of sleep, and time management issues. And this is not something I'm saying. This is as per the poll. A lot of expats, including advanced members, participated and voiced what affects them the most, and these were the top 3. So I've designed a course based on my experience, based on a lot of research on other people's programs, based on my own experience in running my own successful channel. I've designed a course specifically for expats to deal with these 3 issues, so you can get a lot more done in life, including your residency, citizenships, and a lot more, right? It'll give you the motivation to get started. It'll keep you happy. It'll ensure that you are working towards that good sleep, right? 8 to 9 hours should be what you should be targeting from a sleep perspective. If you are interested, you can always join the course. There's a 50% discount that is open to all now, so make use of it. And if you're interested in previewing the course, here's a sneak peek into what this covers. All right, I hope you like this one. Catch you in the next one.